In the annals of criminal psychology, few motives for murder are as perplexing and eerie as that of Eddie Leonski. Unlike many other serial killers, whose motives range from financial gain to anger, Leonski's reason for his heinous acts was simply to capture the voices of his victims. This chilling rationale not only baffled investigators but continues to intrigue psychologists and criminologists to this day. So what exactly did Leonski mean when he spoke of capturing voices? And how did this unusual motive shape his horrifying spree? On May 3, 1942, a 40-year-old woman named Ivy Violet McLeod left her home in Melbourne, Australia. After spending the evening with friends, she embarked on the familiar journey back home. However, this night would prove to be different. As the night wore on, McLeod found herself alone on the darkened streets, and when she reached the intersection of Russell and Little Collins streets, her life would tragically come to an end. 2 weeks later, another woman, 31-year-old Pauline Thompson, met a similar fate. Despite the authorities' efforts to find the perpetrator of these crimes, the investigation led nowhere until May 18th, when a third woman, 33-year-old Gladys Hosking, was found strangled in a park. The connection between these cases was clear, and the fear in Melbourne grew. Amidst the fear and uncertainty, suspicion fell on a United States serviceman, Private Eddie Leonski. After hearing a disturbing rumor, police decided to question him. Upon searching his quarters, they uncovered crucial evidence, linking him to the horrific crimes. In a shocking turn of events, the charismatic soldier confessed to the murders. Explaining his gruesome actions with an eerie reasoning, he wanted to capture the women's voices. In an attempt to understand Leonski's distorted thinking, investigators delved into his past. Born in 1917 in New Jersey, Edward Leonski had a turbulent upbringing marked by familial issues and a troubled youth. His father's early demise left his mother, Helen, to navigate the challenges of raising 3 boys alone. Eddie's path was fraught with behavioral issues and academic struggles, leading to multiple expulsions from schools. At 16, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy but was discharged after a year due to misconduct. Following his discharge, he married Thelma Todd, but their relationship was turbulent and violent, resulting in divorce. With his personal life in shambles, Leonski joined the army, hoping for a fresh start. He was deployed to Australia in early 1942, where his charismatic nature and gregariousness made him popular among his comrades. However, his seemingly jovial exterior hid a sinister darkness. One fateful evening, while visiting a bar in Melbourne, he encountered 3 women who would inadvertently become his first victims. His initial target was 40-year-old Ivy McLeod. His plan was straightforward. He lured her to a secluded spot, overpowered her, and ended her life by strangulation. Just over 2 weeks later, he repeated his heinous act, this time with 31-year-old Pauline Thompson. However, it was his third victim, 33-year-old Gladys Hosking, that proved to be his undoing. A witness spotted him with his victim, providing crucial evidence that directly linked him to the crime scene. During interrogation, Leonards confessed to all 3 murders, providing chilling insights into his psyche. He explained that his obsession with voices began during his youth and intensified over time. Voices, according to him, were more than just sounds. They were vessels of souls, and he believed that by capturing them, he could possess these souls. Strangulation, he said, was his method of choice because it rendered the victim unconscious without producing a sound, allowing him to capture the voice without interruption. After confessing, he was swiftly charged and court proceedings commenced. Despite the gravity of the charges against him, the U.S. authorities opted to try Leonski in a military court rather than an Australian civilian court. This decision was based on the premise that Australian authorities lacked jurisdiction over U.S. servicemen stationed in the country. The U.S. authorities evidently wanted to handle the case discreetly, possibly to avoid a diplomatic incident. However, the secrecy surrounding the trial only fueled public intrigue and speculation. During the trial, shocking revelations came to light. Witnesses testified to Leonard's peculiar behavior and obsession with female voices. Additionally, audio recordings of his confessions were played in court, offering a chilling glimpse into his disturbed mind. The defense attempted to portray him as mentally unstable, suggesting that his bizarre rationale for the murders was evidence of a fractured psyche. However, despite these attempts, the prosecution successfully argued that Leonski's actions were the result of a deliberate choice, not mental illness. On November 9, 1942, the court found Leonski guilty of murder, and he was sentenced to death by hanging. The execution took place later that same day at Pentridge Prison in Melbourne, bringing an end to the tumultuous life of Private First Class Eddie Leonski. Although Leonski's chilling case was confined to the pages of history, the haunting echoes of his actions continue to resonate in the realm of criminal psychology. Experts continue to grapple with comprehending his unusual motive, attempting to dissect the complexities of his psyche. Among the many theories put forth by investigators and psychologists, one stands out: acoustic lust. Acoustic lust is a rare paraphilia characterized by sexual arousal triggered by the mere sound of another person's voice. In Leonski's case, his acoustic lust took a terrifying turn, leading him to murder in order to possess the voices he desired. His actions, though extreme, provide a unique insight into the darker aspects of human desire. While the case of the Brownout Strangler may never be fully understood, it serves as a stark reminder of the depths of human darkness. The idea that someone could take innocent lives simply to fulfill a bizarre lust for voices remains deeply disturbing. But this case also highlights the tireless work of investigators and psychologists in unraveling the complexities of the human psyche, no matter how dark and unsettling they may be. As we delve deeper into the complexities of this case, several questions arise. How did Leonski's wartime experiences contribute to his disturbing actions? And what role did his personal demons play in shaping his horrific choices? To explore these questions, we must examine Leonski's wartime experiences and how they may have influenced his psychological state. Stationed in Melbourne during a period of heightened tensions and uncertainties, Leonski was surrounded by the constant reminders of war, which likely exacerbated his underlying psychological issues. Moreover, the strictures and regulations imposed by military life may have contributed to his feelings of confinement and desperation, pushing him further towards the edge. These external pressures, coupled with his personal demons, created a volatile mix that ultimately culminated in the horrifying events of May 1942. Furthermore, we must consider the societal context of the time. World War II was a period of immense stress and upheaval, and the presence of thousands of American troops in Melbourne introduced an element of cultural clash and tension. The influx of foreign troops in a city not accustomed to such a large-scale military presence may have contributed to a sense of unease and altered the social dynamics of the time. This aspect adds another layer of complexity to the case, suggesting that Leonski's actions might have been partly influenced by the broader socio-political climate. In addition, the issue of jurisdiction and the decision to try Leonski in a military court rather than an Australian civilian court raises intriguing questions about the balance between national interests and international cooperation, the prioritization of a swift and discreet resolution over a comprehensive and transparent legal process underscores the challenges of navigating legal complexities during times of conflict. This aspect of the case compels us to consider the broader implications of war on legal proceedings and the potential consequences of prioritizing expediency over justice. But beyond the legal considerations, Leonski's case raises fundamental questions about the nature of evil. His chilling motive for murder challenges conventional notions of what drives individuals to commit such heinous acts. Exploring the depths of Leonski's psyche compels us to confront the darkest recesses of human nature and the terrifying potential that lies within the human heart. The story of Eddie Leonski, the Brownout Strangler, is a chilling reminder of the depths of human darkness. His bizarre motive for murder and troubled past continue to fascinate and terrify us. But as we seek to understand this horrific case, we must also acknowledge the limitations of our knowledge. Despite the extensive investigations and analyses, many aspects of Leonski's crimes remain shrouded in mystery. And that's what makes the case of the Brownout Strangler truly unsettling. The possibility that there are forces and motivations beyond our comprehension driving such evil remains a terrifying thought. But it is precisely this unsettling ambiguity that compels us to keep exploring the dark corners of human psychology. Australia's criminal history is darker than you think. From chilling disappearances to shocking murders, Death and Dismay Down Under uncovers 55 of the most notorious true crime cases in Australian history. Meticulously researched, this book takes you on a journey through 130 years of crime, mystery, and pure horror. If you love true crime, you need to read this. Get your copy of Death and Dismay Down Under available, now in print and digital from Amazon. You can find a link in the description. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please remember to hit the thumbs up button below to show your support.